If motivation worked, you would not need it again tomorrow. Kant knew this 200 years ago. Most people believe they cannot change because they lack motivation. They think, I just need more inspiration. I need the right mood. Kant said, no. You are not failing because you lack motivation. You are failing because you misunderstand how human beings actually change. This video is not here to make you feel inspired. It is not here to give you temporary motivation. It is here to explain why you stay the same even when you truly want to change. To understand this, we need to see why Kant rejected motivation entirely. Kant did not trust motivation. He rejected emotional motivation entirely. Because motivation is a feeling, and feelings depend on mood. They rise, they fall, they disappear. From Kant's perspective, anything that requires you to feel a certain way before you act is unreliable by nature. If you must feel motivated to act, your behavior is controlled by conditions, not by character. Today, you feel inspired, so you act. Tomorrow, the feeling is gone, so you stop. Nothing stable is built this way. Kant believed that what depends on emotion cannot be trusted to endure. What needs motivation to exist cannot be relied on to continue. So, Kant replaced motivation with something far more demanding. Not desire, not inspiration, but duty. So what does Kant replace motivation with? Kant believed the highest form of action happens when you do not want to act. He called this duty. Duty means doing what is right even when you feel resistance, even when there is no desire, even when nothing inside you feels supportive. Duty does not wait for emotion. It does not ask permission from mood. This is where Kant draws a hard line. Motivation asks a simple question: do I want to do this right now? Duty asks a different question: is this the right thing to do? One depends on feeling, the other depends on principle. When you act from motivation, your behavior changes with your mood. When you act from duty, your behavior reflects your character. Duty does not ask how you feel, it asks who you choose to be. And this is why motivation always collapses. Look at what people consistently fail at: going to the gym, saving money, maintaining self-discipline. Not because they are stupid, not because they lack information, not because they do not know what to do. They fail for a simpler reason. They wait for the right feeling. They wait to feel motivated. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel aligned. Kant saw this clearly. The moment action depends on emotion, emotion becomes the master. For Kant, discipline is not about success. It is about character. This is where most people misunderstand self-discipline. They think discipline is a tool to get more results, to become more productive, to win more often. Kant saw something else. Discipline is not what you do to the world. It is what you do to yourself. It is a moral relationship. Every promise you make to yourself creates an invisible contract, and every time you break it, something changes inside you. You do not just lose a habit, you teach yourself that your own word has no weight. Over time, your inner authority weakens. You hesitate more, you delay more, you negotiate with yourself more. Not because you are lazy, but because you no longer trust yourself. Kant believed this was dangerous, because a person who cannot rely on himself will always look for external pressure, motivation, fear, rewards, deadlines. But once discipline comes from outside, freedom disappears. True discipline is self-given law. It is choosing to act even when nothing forces you, even when no one is watching, even when there is no reward. Every time you act from duty, you strengthen something invisible: self-respect. You become someone who keeps his word even when it costs comfort. And every time you avoid duty, you lose something deeper than progress. You lose authority over yourself. This is why people restart their lives again and again. New plans, new routines, new motivation. But the problem was never the plan. It was the broken relationship with their own will. And Kant would say, until discipline becomes a moral issue, nothing truly changes.
Most people live inside the same loop. They promise themselves change. They feel excited. They start strong. Then resistance appears. Fatigue, boredom, discomfort, and the system collapses. They miss one day, then two, then they stop entirely. What follows is always the same: self-blame, shame, guilt. Then a search for a new solution, a new routine, a new video, a new burst of motivation. Kant would say this cycle is not accidental. It is the predictable result of building action on emotion. You do not fail because you lack motivation. You fail because motivation was never meant to carry responsibility. Motivation must be maintained. It must be refreshed. It must be protected from discomfort. Duty does not ask for maintenance. Duty does not need excitement. It does not need belief. It does not need confidence. It only needs a decision. This is the difference Kant cared about. Motivation negotiates. Duty decides. Motivation asks, how do I feel today? Duty asks, what did I commit to? When life becomes difficult, motivation looks for escape. Duty remains. This is why people restart their lives instead of continuing them. Restarting feels hopeful. Continuing feels heavy. But Kant believed character is built not in beginnings, but in persistence. If you always wait to feel ready, you will always be starting over. And this is why Kant rejected motivation entirely. Because real change does not come from feeling inspired. It comes from choosing to act even when nothing inside you agrees. So the real question becomes, how do you live by duty in a world designed to keep you emotional? And that is where Kant becomes most uncomfortable. Kant gives no hacks. He gives one rule: act from duty, not from desire. This rule sounds simple, but it changes everything. Desire asks, do I feel like doing this? Duty asks, did I decide this is right? Kant believed real change begins when feeling is removed from the equation. So the practice is not complicated, it is uncomfortable. Before you act, ask yourself 3 questions. Would I still do this if no one ever saw it? Would I still do this if there was no reward at all? Would I still do this if I felt resistance every time? If the answer is yes, then you are acting from duty. If the answer is no, then you are waiting for permission from emotion. This is the key shift. You stop asking, do I have motivation today? You start asking, is this what I committed to? Kant believed commitment is not emotional, it is rational. And consistency does not come from enthusiasm, it comes from identity. Every time you act from duty, you teach yourself one thing: my word has authority. Every time you act only when you feel like it, you teach yourself the opposite: my feelings are in control. This is why Kant said consistency is not psychological, it is ethical. And this leads to Kant's most brutal truth. Kant did not teach how to feel better. He taught how to become someone who does not need motivation. Because the strongest people are not inspired, they are committed. Motivation fades, duty remains, and only what remains can change you. If you wait to feel ready, you will wait forever. If you act from duty, change becomes inevitable. Subscribe if you want philosophy that builds discipline, not dopamine. Because the people who change are not the most motivated, they are the most committed.